Now it says recording. Okay, thanks for making me double check. I lay this thing on the keyboard that reminds me, and I did push it, but not hard enough. Okay, so we're back on September 29th, 2019, the last class for Module 2 after lunch, and we're going to look at a movie trailer that's called Animal Conversations, or Conversations with Animals, that my friends Donna and Jack Kasovitz from Cancun area, where their dolphins are in the movie. And it was made by a French film company. So my last communication to her was, how can I get a copy of this movie? So we'll find out. But right now, I think it should be here. Yeah, here it is. I think you guys will enjoy it.
The animal kingdom harbors secrets that man dreams of decoding. We no longer doubt that animals can think. We also concede that they are capable of emotions. But there is still one frontier to be crossed, understanding what animals say to each other. Thanks to science, man is finally starting to shed light on animal language. Pigs, wolves, dolphins, elephants, and monkeys, all animals express themselves through sound. They use vocalization.
Animals communicate. They make clear to each other what they want to do and how they want to do it and where they want to do it.
What's the experience of the animal itself? Does it experience and perceive the world as we do or differently? And we know that, simply by how different we are, that there need to be some differences.
Yeah, there's this old belief that animals kind of communicate with each other, but they don't know that they're doing it. It's kind of like instinctual communication, call and response. I just don't believe that.
The scientific community agrees that animals do not just make random noises. But how and why do they speak to each other? And what do they say when they do?
Is that cool? So I'm really excited because I've never had the opportunity to be face-to-face with a captive dolphin and have a one-on-one conversation. For me, that's going to be kind of profound. And for Puda, and to hear what Puda's saying, when she's talking to them. Because she's only seen them on boats. Lots of dolphins since she was little, but she's never had a one-on-one. So it's going to be exciting, something new. I wonder if they'll want to give a message or, they'll want to have a conversation. I'm going to be very curious to see. And Annette's coming with me, and so we're invited to be there in the internship class for a couple of days. So before we go to Cryon, and Donna's like, "Puda's coming, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Puda's coming." She's like, "Oh, good." Okay. Anyway, there's another little news bulletin. We'll have to watch for that movie to come to our area, right? Or be able to buy it. Okay. So. Okay, foot tubs. Yeah, foot tubs. And if you, I have one. If you go out the garage and turn right, it's got probably some stuff in it, but it's right there.
I'm a good student. I brought mine.
No, well, not that's empty. I don't. And also get some crystals. Don't forget your Andorra crystals. You need 3 per person minimum, hopefully. 1 for each hand and 1 for between the ankles. It's on the floor, I think. Turn right. And there should be some salt above the washer. Some Tibetan salt or Hawaiian salt. What did you say?
We should all go out to the pool again. Keep our feet cool.
Well, it's just the sound, you know. Yeah, if you can hear me. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I think she got the better deal.
So Helen, we're gonna put you right here. So
Oh,
after and I have towels.
I have the towel right there. I already spread it out.
Okay. So after the, you know, the meditation, you and I are going to be working together.
It's just so cute. So, because it's on top of the cord.
It's okay with me. I pull it out, yeah. You get some crystals unless you have your own.
You want the elder in the water with us?
If I have an elder, I would put it in between my feet, yes. You can use this one if you want. Where is it? It's over there, sorry. If you want.
You want that one? Okay. Well, then I'm putting this in. I'm getting so here.
It's Dolphin Spa Day.
Yes, it is. Charlotte, could you just bring a cup of cold water with you? I'm going to ask you to bring a cup of cold water. There's a whale. You ready?
We're just getting ready here, so about 2 more minutes,
I'm
okay?
just trying to cool down my cup of water. That could be any vessel. Yeah.
Okay, guys, come on. Gotta go. Blindfolds, water, towels, crystals. Okay, so don't put it on yet because you're my client. You were pretending, remember?
I need more water.
Yes. What is singing a song in my mind? What is it? It's a load 'em up, let 'em out, load 'em up, let 'em out. Rawhide or something like that. It's like some song she's singing. How funny. All right, beloved ones. So we're going to lean on the sacred space that's already open from this morning in the elements of time. And of course, respecting that our sacred grid is open. So you understand? Okay. And now we're going to hold the water to our hearts to do a water blessing. Water, we bless you. Water, we honor you. We respect you. We love you so much. So we changed the crystalline structure of this water by, you know, preparing it for the healing with the dolphins. So let's forgive this water let's ask the water to forgive us for polluting it or harming it in any way by saying the Ho'opono prayer 3 times. Water, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Water, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Water, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Through the power of our divine essence, we raise the vibration of this water and the water in our bodies to the highest possible vibration. Good. So are you comfortable in your foot bath with holding your crystals? Okay. Good. So we're going to start by bringing in some nice dolphin sounds and allowing you to kind of go into attuning to your own divine presence. If you allow your beautiful spirit dolphins to swim in. And everybody online, please mute your room. Take a moment now to feel the essence of the three spirit guides as they come in and they triangulate around you. Feel that beautiful color and light, energy coming in. And now, before we move you into the meditation, I'd like you to state your intentions, if you will, for this healing. You've done enough of this with me to know that it can be very specific, but also very general for the overall well-being. But is there anything specific today that you'd like to bring in? Okay. What she said, if you guys didn't hear, is her overall well-being. You can put your blindfold on now. Go within. Take a moment to attune to the energies of the crystals and the dolphins working in spirals of light around you. Let yourself feel the colors as they move through you. Starting to take slower, deeper breaths. Breathing through the nose. And allowing the dolphins now your permission to reprogram your perceptions, your beliefs, and your awareness. And as I said, last time I worked with you, today we'd be working with really the emotional codes in layer 2, which is all the different ways we humans learn to love, function in the world from a place of love. Is that all right? Okay, thank you. Feel the presence and the power, the joy of these beautiful three spirit dolphins that begin circling you now. And open to faith now, because the dolphins have capabilities that, to be honest, you know, even those of us who are facilitating this do not understand. They're beyond our understanding. Remember, they have the largest brains on the planet. Their brainstem is huge. They have capabilities that you can now access without even understanding how they do it. So with your permission now, we're going to call in the 12 dolphin masters. They're from the Ascended Councils, and ask them to stand upright in a circle around you. Please welcome Simeon. Freya. Welcome Mercola. Pasa. Welcome JL. Welcome Exaba. Welcome Sigla. Venezuela. Somalia. Welcome Exeter. Regla. And Elamir. So we're ready to begin now the meditation with life lessons. Take some more deep breaths, tuning to your divine presence, calling in the totality of the larger part of you, which is the non-physical part that we call the I Am presence. Sense and feel the support of your guides and angels and the 12 dolphins from the Ascended Council that are radiating light right into your body. Take a deep breath all the way down to the solar plexus and recirculate the energy. And once again, stay tuned now to your intentions for your life to change, your vibration to increase, and for your overall well-being to expand. And we do so by really coming to a place of surrender. Today we are open to physical healing. And today we bring in the energy now that will assist you in tuning to what we call layer 2 of your DNA. Much of the life lessons that the dolphins have taught us to refer to are integrated into the DNA. And this has been accomplished and seeded in previous lifetimes, and some in this lifetime. So as we say the names of the lessons that are coming to play, I want you to focus on the ones that first cause some kind of emotional trigger where you feel like that's an area that you would like to work on. Okay, and if you don't remember them all, it's okay, I'll come back. So as we say the names of the lessons, focus on the ones you feel an emotional trigger to first. And this is an area where the dolphins are going to give you an opportunity to expand and for them to work with you personally. Also, as the triggers come in, and you feel a negative response to some of the life lessons, trust that a memory will be revealed that will be helpful with understanding this. So overall, it's learning to love in all ways, learning to be a good listener, learning to receive, learning to love ourselves, learning to speak our truth, learning how not to play the part of the victim, learning not to let anyone else define you, learning how to feel into your own unique mastery, and learning how to live joyfully among the other humans. Learn how to get out of blame, where we blame each other and we experience judgment. Learning how to live outside of duality or polarity, and drop your karma. Learn self-love and how to take very good care of yourself. And learn that you are worthy. You deserve to be here. You are a divine, immortal, eternal being that's occupying a human experience, and you are dearly loved. So you are worthy. Now, in reviewing those lessons of love, tell me the one or ones that were triggered. Learning to the victim. Okay, and so I'm repeating this for the online people. Learning to speak her truth, learning not to be a victim, and what was the third one? Learning to love yourself? Self-love. Okay, very good. So now as I say the lesson to you out loud, I want you to imagine a memory where you were angry or intimidated or felt shut down, something where that trigger became an emotional response in your body. And it could have been from childhood, it could have been from, when you were younger, it could have been from last week. And just let the first memory come in. So learning to speak your truth, really stand up for yourself and say what you feel. Allow a memory to come in. You have a memory?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So hold on to that. And now, learning not to be a victim. Think of the last time that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Who was there and how did that happen? Or maybe think of a time when it happened that was bigger than the last time, like a prior memory. Because maybe it's getting sanded down. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's getting bigger. You see the difference in the emotions? Okay, good. And now learning to love yourself. That's big. And all of this is attached to that. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to go deeper into your heart, and I'm going to muscle test with your permission on where I feel the dolphins want to go next. So what they're saying to me is that the overriding presence of this particular session today is for you to feel more self-love, for you to feel worthy and deserving, and that, you know, they're showing me somebody's going to hand out chocolate in the park, and they hold up the candy bars and the kids come running. And there's a part of you that wouldn't run up to the front and grab the candy bar. You'd let somebody else go ahead of you. Is that a good metaphor? Okay. So today they want you to be one of the first ones to get there and grab the candy bar and eat it and feel good about it, not feel like there isn't enough for everyone else, but that you deserve to get one of those candy bars, and that, you know, you're a good kid and why not me? Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be enough for everybody. It means that you, for a moment, are putting yourself first. Can you do that? Okay. So now I want you to tell me a memory of the last time something like that happened in life, where you sort of held back and didn't express how you really felt, which would have brought you to a place where you could have felt equal with the other people that were receiving either a gift or a compliment or some kind of, you know, upliftment in their life. Could have been at work, could have been your family. And is this reason? Okay. And so what she's describing for those online is a situation at work where she's not confident speaking up for asking for the salary she feels she deserves to her superior. Is that correct? And this is a lesson that's going on right now. That she's had this for years, and it's come to pass at this time in history, this moment in time, that it has to be addressed, and that you're tired of not. Still a ways to go. Okay. She's doing it, but still settling. So, okay, good. Good. So let's go to a time now when you were young, and tell me about your family, brothers and sisters? One younger brother. And was there ever a time when you felt that he got more than you, or that he, from your parents, that wasn't equally, either the things or the love was not equally shared? No. Okay, good. Your dad. Okay. So and this was not about your brother, just about you and your father. Okay. All right. What's your father's name? Okay. So is it all right if we ask Gary and his higher self to enter the session now? Okay. So Gary, Helen's dad, we'd like to ask you now to come in energetically and participate. Is he living? Okay. And he's happy. It's a big yes. He's happy to be here. And so from your perspective right now, do you feel loved by Gary? No. And what, in case you didn't hear, she said no. So, Gary, do you love Helen? And I am getting a yes. Okay. So the dolphins are going to create that room. That's a special room where we can really share. Okay. So take a moment to really feel that. And have your 3 spirit dolphins and your 3 master guides standing in really the Star of David around you, 6 points of light. And they're walking you now through a doorway. And we call this the womb room. Okay. So it's very womb-like. It's an area where we can really grow and we can feel very nourished and safe, like we did in the womb of our mother. And there's your beautifully appointed chair. So go ahead and take a seat in your beautiful chair. Just sit back and relax. And just for a moment, remember what it was like to be in the womb. It was good. It was very good. And just for a moment, reflect on the love you have for your mother or lack of it. How does that feel? Okay. Lots of love for mom. Okay. Now they're creating a second chair that's directly across from you, where your knees, you'd be knee to knee with the other person, and they're asking Gary to come in, who's your father, and to take a seat. Good. Gary's coming in. And maybe for the first time in your life, they're saying that this is a perfectly safe place to tell your father how you really feel about him and why you don't love him, without hurting him. You're not going to hurt him because this is his higher self. Okay, his physical self is another story, as we know. We always try not to say things that are hurtful to people in physical form. But this is different because this is about you, and he did agree to come and to be a part of this. So you think you can tell him, really, in whatever emotion comes up, why you don't love him?
It's not that I don't love him. It's that I disconnected myself because I don't want to be controlled by anymore. Control relationship. Sense?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not that I don't love him. I just don't think of him at all. He's not part of my life.
Okay.
And I've disconnected myself from him because of the control. Like, I don't want to be controlled by him anymore. So this has been like an evolution. Just like I left my husband because I didn't want to be controlled by him anymore. Now I'm kind of in this employee situation where I'm in control. It's an ongoing lesson here.
Your husband played a role at some level, your father played it, and then now your boss is playing this to a degree.
So there, yeah, not totally clear.
What does that emotion feel like regarding this region?
Well, it's dislike to some of them. It's neutrality to others. I'm proud of myself for stepping up and standing up for myself and disconnecting from them, as in my father, and then leaving my husband. But obviously, I still have to learn the lesson because I find myself playing the same role with my boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So at some level, you want to attract male energy into your life that isn't attached to this particular dysfunction. Okay. So tell us, what qualities would you like these men to take on if they don't have them? What would help bring this
The
to
men
balance?
these 3 men, or them,
these 3 men.
I would like for them to be supportive, to consider me an equal, not a piece of property, I would like them to not want to control me, but to be supportive of me and allow me to flourish and love me for being me, I guess. There you go.
The individual that you are and the unique gifts that you bring to the table. First as daughter, then as wife, and now as employee, correct? Okay. So with this in mind, where the issue is, yeah, and she said to belittle me. So with all of this in mind, this is a particular personality type, I guess you'd say. And we're not giving credence to the men that are inhabiting this. We're saying it exists. It's almost like an archetype in the sense of manipulative, controlling, male energy that's dominating the female energy. Okay, good. So, but on the higher realms, let's rise up now and let's go back to when you chose your father to be your father. Okay. Okay. So in a perfect world, which is what we're seeking, or more perfect world, we're going to come now into contact with their higher self. And with the dolphin's help, there is potential for change, not necessarily change that you can control, but change that they can control through this wisdom being brought to them, so to speak. So there's a pause from the dolphins now, where they're coming into kind of like a little pod, and they're having a conversation. So we're going to step back for a minute and let them have a conversation about you. Okay, and it's clear now that they would also like to bring in 2 more chairs to the room. One for your husband, ex-husband, and what is his name? So we're asking John now permission from his higher being if he will come into the room. And at first it's a no, but dolphins don't like no, so they're working on him. And now he's agreeing, okay? They're promising him he won't be harmed, that there's only love awaiting him, okay? And now what is your employer's name? Hem, H-E-M. And they're bringing in a chair for him. And we're asking his higher self now if he would like to come into the room. And it's a pretty big no. So. I was going to say, no, he's not really willing. Okay, so we have your father and your husband in the room. Let's start with your father, okay? Without holding back in any way, we're going to back when you first had memories of being controlled and not heard, not acknowledged. And what would you like to say to him? And please use the emotional that you really he's going to tell you.
I just always felt not good enough, controlled, manipulated, as was my mother in every way. And I hated it. It's not fair. It's dark and evil. It's just like, it's not the narcissist behavior. The whole world revolved around you and what would make you feel happy. And the rest of us were just pawns to be manipulated in your game. And my brother still is being manipulated in your game. My mother is not, because she chose to pass. Good for her. And I have chose to be completely separate from you, completely cut you off for my own protection, which is why I do not have a relationship with you in any way. It's for my protection and the protection of my children, to not have them be manipulated by you, because it is truly an honor to be in a relationship with anyone. And I don't feel that you have treated me in the way that I should honor you with having a relationship with you. How rough is that, man? But I am also grateful for the lesson that you have taught me to make me eventually stand up for myself as I have now as I'm evolving. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I understand that we all choose everything. But I cannot forgive you for how you treated my mother. I cannot forgive you for how you treated us children. The emotional battering, not physical, but the emotional condescension, always the, is this kind of what you're looking for?
Well,
Right, no, but I'm saying, yeah, I mean, I could go on and say nasty shit, but probably deep down.
maybe you can go into that for a moment and let some of that childhood energy out, anger, remorse, whatever. Because you didn't have any power of your own.
Right.
So you can talk to him about his parenting and how that young child feels. I think that would be good.
Yeah, I felt invalidated, controlled, not good enough, belittled constantly, condescended to constantly, controlled. As you treated my mother, I do not appreciate the way my mother was treated. I'm very protective towards her, and I was treated the same way. I did not deserve to be treated that way. And because I was treated that way, I have, as a way to protect myself, have completely dissolved any relationship with you or for you with my children. So, I mean, it's been decades since we've conversed.
How's it feel? Speak your truth.
Good.
Good.
Actually, this is not what I intended for today, but it feels good.
Okay.
And it is a lesson that I have learned and carried forward in my being able to, like, I could not speak up to my current employer if I hadn't had these lessons in the past. So thank you for making me a stronger human by treating me this way. But as a stronger human, I choose to not have a relationship with you because I choose to not be treated this way any longer. And I don't want my children to be treated that way, or my children to watch me be treated that way and believe that this is valid behavior and should be traveled forward.
So, in positive note, this has helped you create boundaries that are healthy. All right. So the Dolphins are saying now, in owning the part where the contract is now valid in the sense of you're both aware of the parts that you created, and the part that you have brought into balance is accurate in the sense of being a good mother and being a good daughter. But let's go into the moment now of potential to change, potential to forgive, not required, but potential. And let's look at his potential. Again, what was his name? Gary's potential to be a good father. Do you believe he has the potential within him to be a father or a husband? It's not there?
I mean, late 80s now. I think he will have to learn that lesson in another lifetime with someone else. Have I forgiven? No. Have I forgotten? Yes. Have I forgiven my ex? I kind of think so, but for some reason, my father, no, because it's deeper. Because I have lifetimes. This is interesting. I have past lifetimes where I was treated by him as a possession, as chattel, sold, etc. And that is how I feel from him that he would treated me and my mother. Granted, he had a bad childhood too. I understand. I'm sorry.
So let's speak to the dolphins for a moment. The dolphins are saying, beloved Helen, all beings have potential to change. We're not saying that he will, we're saying there is a potential. And all beings have the potential to forgive and let go of the backpack and the rocks that they're carrying around. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of where they're going to focus, but they are going to give him a moment to speak to you. Is that all right? And you'll be able to translate what he's saying too, if you don't mind. All right. So Gary, the spotlight is on you and your higher self now as you speak to your daughter, Helen. Well, they're not saying you have to agree with it, but allow him to speak if you want. As you hear what he says.
Here's the thing. I have become the little girl. I have fear. My chest is full of fear. I see his mouth moving. As an old man, I see him as an old, harmless man sitting in front of me. But I still hold that fear in my chest that I had as a child, and I cannot hear him. Maybe the dolphins can facilitate to help me to hear him. I'm blocking it or something, but I cannot actually hear him.
He's saying that he did not know that this co-creation would take a whole lifetime regarding this lifetime. He's saying he did not know that it would be this difficult or this challenging. And that for that, he's very sorry. There's a part of him that has to be happy with the agreement that you made because you both made it, even though it was challenging. But there's a part of him, and whether you see him as young or old, try for a moment now to see him as spirit, that is very done with this as you are. And would very much like to end it. Right? And as to how it will play out and filter down into the body of him as an old man is beyond what the dolphins can do in this session because they don't have that permission. But they can be with him and they can try to continue to seed him with their love. And they don't even know if the opportunity will ever come for you two to speak again, but they would like to see at least one level of forgiveness come in and for you to hear him say, to really hear him say he's sorry. And that he would like to very much mend this bridge and to, let go of his old ways and to be a part of a family again that's balanced and loving. And each person is uniquely honored for the divinity that they bring, the gifts that they bring, and that it has been challenging, but yet he'll never stop being happy that he got the opportunity to be your father. And if you could try to remember anything is possible at any age, that would be helpful. And so do you accept his higher self's apology at this point? Okay, good. And at this point, then he's going to bring you a gift if you're willing to accept it. And as I can describe it to the client.
A conch shell for communication? Yes.
It's the first step in clear communication. And the dolphins are offering a prayer for you and him and the family that if he does choose in the free will zone to change, as he's doing now in his higher being, that something will come from him that will trigger you to know that today a difference was made, and that there's some way he's reaching out to be absolved. Not saying you have to accept it or give him another chance, or even that will happen.
I would be happy.
They're just laying that on the table. That this is very powerful work beyond the human framework of consciousness, and it goes into, again, the contractual reasons why you played this part out. And so in that sense, he was very effective in teaching you. Nice. Oh, he's giving me a hug. Are you open to hugging? No, you are? And thanks to both of you for your openness. And the Dolphins are showing him out and wishing him well. The Dolphins are ushering him out now and wishing him well. And they're bringing the chair directly in front now of her ex-husband. All right. And his name again? John. So. So what words come to mind now that you would like to express? And it's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel whatever you feel that you would say to John.
I gotta say, I've done all my stuff with John.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are they laughing because I haven't?
No,
But I'm saying I have gone through the whole anger and breakdown, and I left. Then I did the anger, then I did the breakdown, then I spent all the money. Then I would say that you have cheated me, but that abundance will come elsewhere, so it's okay. I would say that I am trying very hard for forgiveness, and I think I'm making leaps and bounds. I'm super proud of myself. We're talking civilly now, which is huge. I feel nothing for him but sadness that for what he has created, for where his life sits now. And I wish him well for the future and for his next life. But I have withdrawn myself from his life unless absolutely necessary. Will no longer be controlled by him. Once again, thank you for teaching me the lesson. Much stronger now than I was when we were married. Even though, I had to go through my whole journey, but it's good. So thank you.
Well, the Dolphins are handing me Andorra crystal to look at, and it's like an aquamarine. It's very pretty. And now they're handing it to you. And you don't have to give this to him, but there's a suggestion that you give
it to him.
that you give the aquamarine crystal to your ex-husband. So. And this crystal is given from your heart. And what is your department?
To wish him well.
Okay.
But I am not a pawn in his life anymore. I'm not in his life other than family requirements. I wish him well, Godspeed with whatever choices he makes, but his choices no longer affect me in my life.
Okay.
I take my power.
So he's received the crystal now, and you know the power of the Andar crystals. So this gift is given from you to him in hopes that there's a potential shift in consciousness with the crystal helping you.
I mean, I worry of his comments. I was not treated.
Right. So they're saying, okay. So they're saying two things. One is they're recommending that you end this contract officially in all realms and dimensions now.
Okay.
And just hold on. And that you open to be a witness if he does choose to change in the physical without repeating the relationship. They're not asking you to go back to him, but they're saying, you
That
know,
would be more.
if he was to change, he would choose to change as this contract ends, that there might be a point in time where you could compliment him on the changes he's made in his
I
life.
think that would be great.
Okay,
I would love
so
to.
just opening that door. So I'm going to let you speak to him now about ending this in higher realms, whole frequency.
I would like to end any contract that we have on all frequencies and dimensions of you being in control of me or me needing to leave, learn the lesson to leave. I wish you the best. I hope that you change your ways to help you with your relationship with your children. I wish all of us well and one big happy family, but I am no longer to be controlled or belittled or by you. But thank you for teaching me the lesson so I could grow and I could leave, because I was unable to leave multiple lifetimes. And this lifetime I left. Thank you for continuing to teach me this lesson, but I don't need to learn it anymore.
You have learned it.
I have learned it.
So the Dolphins are handing me now a pair of scissors to hand to you. And I'm going to give you just a moment to really gather your energy from a place of love and cut this cord. And you're ready.
Thank you, John. I wish
Our
you
contract
Godspeed.
is ended.
Contract with him
In all lifetimes, dimensions, and realities.
in all lifetimes, dimensions, and realities, past, present, and future.
God bless
God bless you.
you. Nice. And the Andara will be a touchstone for communications that potentially will be positive in the future.
We have many to go.
Right. Good. All right. So I'm going to ask your Ken, M, if he's willing to come in. No. Okay.
Okay.
Here, hold on.
Have past life or maybe multiple past lives with him as his chattel, his multiple wives, his slave, his possession. I don't know. Is there a way to cut all those cords and clear it so that I am treated more as an equal or respected in some way?
Well, it's always within the human's right to cut a cord that ties you to a contract. But as he is unwilling, even in his higher self, to come forward to this session, there's no way of knowing how it will affect him in the future, but you absolutely can affect your relationship with him. You can't necessarily change him. You see what I'm saying? But you can end your relationship.
Well,
That is my, here we go. That has been my mode of stepping up for myself, is to cut myself off from that person or cut that person off. In other words, I cut my father off. I left my ex-husband. I am now in the position where I cannot cut myself off from him because he is my income source. Aha. So what lesson am I to learn here?
Which one? Where his, well, okay. They're saying two things. One is you can find another income source. Always can do that, but to be in his presence now, layers and layers of light and neutrality to where he can no longer trigger you, and that you respond with balance, love, a sense of neutrality, to that you don't have a physical or emotional reaction anymore to whatever he would do that would be perceived to be negative or unfair. That may just be something you need temporarily if you're not going to stay in his employment. Is this helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you choose to do?
well, I'm staying in this employment at least temporarily. So I would like to be neutral to any of his negativity and hope that he sees me so that I can speak up for myself, and I then show him myself in a higher light, and I'm treated more like an equal and less like a slave.
So today's meeting could very well help you restructure your language with him to where it potentially could be educational for him. We can go another layer. Let's do one more layer, okay? So describe to the class what your position is and, you know, what his position is over.
I am launching the wholesale division of his business, basically selling crystals and essential oil products nationwide. And I am bringing crystals and positive energy. You know, I'm selling, putting them out there in the world and getting, and basically making them more mainstream. I've got them in Hallmark stores. I've got them in other East Coast large traditional venues now. And that is my purpose there, is to get the crystals out, because, you know, crystals in general are screaming to be out in the public as we ascend.
Right.
So that is my purpose. Also, everything is, you know, highly infused with love and light. And so I'm very proud of the products that I'm representing and that I have developed and that I'm distributing. That is what I'm doing for him. He, on the other hand, is very poverty, comes from Nepal, where he came from less than nothing and has huge poverty consciousness and does not like women. And I believe we have a past contract of some way that he treats all women as, you know, he is the superior. And he is the owner, so he is the superior, but he still is superior and controls everybody with money. And the thing is that myself and the other employees are coming from a place of wanting to distribute the crystals, wanting to distribute the energy, wanting to change the world. And he's given us the platform to do it. So we are overlooking we're dealing with his negativity that comes to us, his belittling, his controlling, because of the higher goal.
Right. That's okay. All right.
But I would like to be done with this freaking lesson and move on to my joy and happiness and picking up plastic off the beach with my true love.
Okay. All right. So for the time being, Helen's going to talk to you about how she feels when you speak to her. It's through words that this happens. Mm-hmm. Is there actions behind it, or mostly just words? Yes.
Just controls with money and words.
So the Dolphins are asking if you want to change the way you speak to him to be more educational for him, if he chooses to hear it that way. Okay. So do you feel if you do that, that your job is at stake? Or do you feel that he sees the value and would be open to hear a different way of speaking from you?
In the physical?
Mm-hmm. Is your job, the way you and your job are jiving in this company, is there value there to him enough to where he's...
About how I didn't feel valued. And so I was given a pittance of, because financially, this is how we value people in this country, is financially. And so there was a pittance done, but he's very controlling and very demeaning. But I feel trapped in this situation right now because I do need a job and I do need to eat. So I do not feel that I could stand up to him any more than I have or that I am. Because no, he does not value.
You,
Yeah, he doesn't value any of us really.
which really needs to do for himself. Okay.
He doesn't value the
Okay. So best to look for another job from the Dolphins' perspective that will please you. And it might be something you do right away, and then you just end this, or it's something you do gradually. But ultimately, when you feel ready, if you can speak to him with love about, as you just said, that you don't feel valued in the work you're doing or compensated at the right amount, and then go on to say what you would feel is the appropriate amount, and even put it into a written form, a letter that says, this is what I'd like to be paid, this is what I'm being paid. I'd like to know what the potentials are for me to reach this amount working here with you, because I know that at some level you value happy employees, something to that effect. So it's all very positive, but it's also laid out for him to see very clearly. Now, only you can decide if it's the right time to do that. How does that feel?
Okay.
Where it's done professionally with a letter.
Okay.
It's clear.
Right. Now, can the Dolphins, though, help me to develop some other form of, some other employment?
What do you think?
I mean, I know they can. So
Okay.
I'm asking them, Dolphins and Whales, can you please help me to find a different, better source of abundance that will allow me to continue on my spiritual path and allow me to help the planet?
Yeah. And they're saying, and now you can use just even what we did today as guidance, almost like flashcards, for applying for these new jobs, to where you don't start applying for one that doesn't offer these things straight up. You see, like the amount of money you feel you should be paid now, the amount of money you feel you should be paid in 6 months, the amount of money you should be paid in a year, the working conditions and hours, and then backed up by your many gifts of what you can offer in exchange. And not coming from a place again of condescending, but these are my skills. This is my offering to you, and I'm a person of love and trust and integrity, and I'm working in a place where that isn't offered to me. And so I'm not leaving because I don't love the work. I'm leaving because I respect human relations and the energy between the people in the company more than you know. So I want to know, and you could say directly to the person the Dolphins are saying that's in charge of the company, is this a place where you truly love to work? Is this a place where you feel respected and honored? Because that would be my requirement, is that I have that. Once, of course, I've proven myself that I deserve that from you. Or is this a place that's more that we have to go to work, and there are headaches and that, because and you can just apologize right up front and say, I apologize if this is too much to ask, but these are my requirements. And I have learned that I deserve to say up front what I want, so that we're not wasting each other's time. Okay? So could you do that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Then you truly have Huda's coming into the Dolphin conversation, and she's saying, I've always said to my mom and other people that the interview should be you interviewing them about how great the job is they're offering you.
Right.
And they should be telling you how great it is to work there and what you can achieve and accomplish and how loved you would be if you do blank. As opposed to them, that should be first. It should be enticing enough to even go to the interview. And that's one of the things that's broken in our system, and you can help fix it. Okay? And part of that is building communication and relationships that you didn't have with this job, and you didn't have with your husband, and you didn't have with your dad, and that can change now. And so it's good practice to know that the universe will line up this opportunity for you, until you feel comfortable in your free will zone. You feel validated. How does that feel? Okay, good. Okay. Any last things to be said? Anyone that's part of this?
I wish everyone well.
So just breathe this in, and as you breathe it in, visualize it done. We're going to bring the dolphin sounds back to kind of seal the deal here. Affirmation that's coming forward now is I now stand and embrace this new vibration. Stand in and embrace. I'm no longer willing to sacrifice myself. I am worthy. I'm deserving. I am in divinity embodied. And today I wholeheartedly embrace and integrate my life lesson of love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Allow them to seal this energy around you now. As you know from experience that the destiny codes of your DNA can be further activated through processes like this on each journey where you allow yourself to move into forgiveness, understanding of the contracts and atonement, and that everything is first orchestrated in divine light for the growth of the people in the contract. And as we come to the ascension pathway, which you're on now, these contracts can be easily dissolved. As we embrace the lesson and say thank you and move on. May you continue to access this higher consciousness from the dolphins. May they freely share it with you. And may your highest destiny and your dreams and desires fully manifest in a very short period of time. You are a divine, immortal, spiritual being, and you are loved. Namaste from the dolphins. Welcome back.
Wow. That is what I thought was going to happen.
It's okay. Some days are a surprise.
But I am so grateful.
Here, let me turn it around so you can talk to the class.
This is not how I intended what I thought was going to happen today, but I am so grateful. So cool. I have to process what's so cool. So thank you. Dolphins, thank you, whales, and thank you all of you for witnessing, for giving me the patience to allowing me to take Lori's class, you know. Right. Thank you, everybody.
Let's open up to your comments for Helen. Okay. Go ahead and talk. They may have been doing their own job.
Right. I don't think she's calling. They've got their hands raised.
Candace, go ahead and speak to Helen.
Well, what I want to say, what comes to mind first is that it's pretty wild because I'm in a very similar situation in many ways. So it was very helpful for me personally as well to process with you. And I feel like that's something that I've been working with a lot is my dynamic with masculine, feminine, and with men. And so it was a really powerful session for me personally as well. So just thank you.
I feel like maybe all of us powerful women are going to be working on that balance of the masculine and the feminine. As more feminine energy keeps coming in and in, it's just going to bring this up for everyone.
A lot of the men.
Great. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they'll embrace it.
because right now they're going to be up in arms in fear. So if it's more, then they embrace it. That would be lovely. That would be lovely.
What did Lori say?
Oh,
It'll be both. It'll be men healing and then men just getting angry. And, you know, I mean, we can't promise that all men will be healed by the rise of the divine feminine, but we can promise that changes are going to occur, and we hope that the men are healed and that we are too as females, because men carry feminine energy too. I've sure seen a lot of men change, but I've seen some not change too. So, you know, all we can do is hold the light and work on ourselves. Any more comments for Helen?
thanks for allowing me to hog the class.
It wasn't hogging at all.
Well, obviously it needed to be addressed by everyone, so thank you. Good, so that means you're coming.
Yeah, this one, Zabba Dabba Doo from the Flintstones. We've come a long way, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Look at that puppy. Okay. So, y'all want a little 5-minute break? Just stand up and stretch or get a drink of water. Not a long break. I'm going to show you YouTube just to break it up, and then we'll work with Sherry, okay, before we close today. And this is also your coming to the end, so think of any questions that are popping up. Of course, not that you can't ask me later, but just would love to have everybody feel satiated at the end here of this class and ready to rock, you know, with the internship and all that's coming. Yeah. Oh, take a little break, stand up and stretch. Yeah. You guys might, some people may want to refresh their water if their water's cold. We'll do one more layer 2. So that was a really good example too, because you never know what's going to happen, of just letting it flow, not really looking at the clock, you know. And as a coach, I've sat down with some of you even, and my other people and said, well, we're going to work on layer 2 and let's put a 90-minute cap on it, you know, and then set an alarm or something. So, or alarm before you have 10 minutes left or something. But really making time for it is my point. Making time within reason to let that person have that experience. So like we didn't have to go one layer deeper with your boss. That was good. That was good. You're welcome. Yeah. You can do it.
Thank you, Kuda.
Holding the space.
Thank you, Sarah, for sitting here. Wow.
It's always good. Dolphins know best. Huh?
Yeah. No idea.
Okay, 5 minutes, guys.
Sincerely, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, here you go. No, we're not done yet. So. Okay, are you going to stay in there or do you want new water? No, this is fine. You sure? Yeah. I'm going to see how the girls want to look at it. I might just go and sit out there and kind of process a little bit. So maybe somebody wants to use the, because I know there's a shortage of them, so let me ask the girls.
She likes to make up little song pieces to celebrate. The very first time it happened, we were on the boat and she went, boom. Boom. Yeah, from scratch. So she had everybody on the boat and boom.
Because all she wants is for us to ascend and get our, do our, yeah.
So I never forgot that. Little songs, lightens it up.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe now I'm done with that whole thing, and maybe I can start my new, bringing in the type of guy in my life that I deserve and I want. Who I know is like really close, but just so maybe this,
Yeah. 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 With everybody, they want, if they're going to partner for us, to be an equal vibration or one be not that much higher.
right,
So no one goes down.
right,
You know, that we're rising together.
right. And sincerely, I just want to do something good, and when I say I want to pick a plastic off the beach, I'm 100% serious.
Well, maybe you can go see who does it.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, there's some city jobs around that.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah. Somebody does it.
Yeah.
Might as well if you got to survive.
I mean, we have to get it out of the ocean.
That too.
Is that it? We just have to, Wow. And how are you over here? But I believe that as we ascend and the feminine energy comes in, we're all doing this same, I mean, you were talking about your husband and how he doesn't understand. And I said, I understand completely because that's why I divorced. So, and I'm not saying that's what you need, but it's like that, we need support. Right, and that's a beautiful thing. That's all you want.
You put together so many lifetimes, I can't imagine.
Well, I've been with my ex many lifetimes too, but it was we've done that dance of leaving him being in control and me not
we
leaving.
go back and forth, but to me, it's like there's such a great love between the two of us. It wouldn't really matter what's going on.
Yeah.
That's nice. I appreciate that.
No, when I met my ex, I was 15. I was 15, he was 16. Okay, and he met me, and instantly at 16 told all his friends, I met the chick I'm going to marry. I'm madly in love with her. We're going to get married. I love, and was immediately wanting to show me off. I was terrified of him and wouldn't go out with him. I finally went out with him on a dare. My soul knew, I remembered that this was going to be bad, but also it happened. So I found that fascinating, So, but done now.
Well, we find from the earth plane, it's very hard to discover why we would create anything negative, including disease for ourselves. That's why we have support. Because other people can step aside. And this is why we have the animal healers, as they can help you step aside from the emotions of it and move forward.
I moved away from a group that is so full of drama queens. And they thrive on just making each other miserable.
And remember now, you're getting energy somewhere because energy is required to live.
Right.
So you're either getting it directly from source light, which is untapped, plentiful, will never run out, comes directly through the sun. Or you're getting it from someone else like a vampire.
Right. My show this Tuesday is about psychic vampires.
And they could be taking it from you.
We're talking
Well, we've
about
all recycled energy. Every time you've ever raised your voice, you're recycling energy.
we're talking about- and I am totally using
Yep.
Well, but
Well-
I say my friends, they just don't resonate with me anymore. I
Right.
mean, I left a whole life.
Me too.
Because
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it just makes you so uncomfortable being in the presence, but it's
Well, when people discuss drama and there's no solution energy brought into the conversation, it's just recycling it over and over and over. And we're not to criticize or judge, but we are to certainly get out of the way. Move your body out of that.
that's kind of why I have to do that. Because they're asking just like around this side, I'm not on anybody's side.
Right. That's why politics fail. It's
Yeah.
because it's set up to fail. Set up to be a fight. And wherever there's a fight, there's no love.
It's sad because they go like a cat fight. And why do they pick on cats? That's nice.
Well, cats can fight.
Yeah.
They can they're nasty fighters. Claw each other. Bite each other. Yeah. Not Puda. Thank God. I've never seen Puda fight. I've sure seen her run from one though. Her big lesson is if there's a fight, get the heck out of there. Run as fast as you can. I even remember my husband, when he was, before he started doing drugs, he was a wonderful teacher, one of the best teachers ever. And he was a black belt in Taekwondo. And one of the first things he would teach the new kids that came in, he said, your best defense is always to run, never to fight. What I'm going to teach you about fighting is only if you ever get trapped and you absolutely have no way of getting out and you can't run faster than them. Then you should be able to turn and fight, defend yourself. But please don't ever use what I'm going to teach you unless you can not get out of the way.
I don't know if you ever watched that show that I spent most of my life being the right fighter. What you call them?
Yeah.
But you'd rather be right than happy.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
fighters. So I spent most of
I
my
was
life
born
fighting.
that way.
Yeah,
I had to
you
win.
tried to be
Yeah.
right all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I didn't need Dr. Phil. I already had it. Yeah.
Well, and
That's a
like-
horrible place to live where you have to be right. You're competitive.
Yeah.
You're so hard on yourself. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah. The only good part of it was I developed my intuition by wanting to pass the test without studying. So I'd ask my guides the answers and they would give them to me. So I was perceived to be very smart, but I didn't study. So,
Maybe that's why I got my intuition.
but I could fill in those, multiple choice things and get 9 out of 10 right, or even more than that, just by asking my guides. And I didn't know why other people didn't do that too.
Yeah.
I used to say asking God. I mean, God will give you the answers if you ask him. Yeah, it's true.
I'm trying to get my guys to help me channel my book. So I don't have to
Yeah, there you go.
do they do that?
Absolutely. You can look at my manuals. Do you think I wrote all that? I mean, I think, I don't mean to be egotistical, but I think what's written in here is fabulous. It's some of the best stuff I've ever read. And I really can't take a lot of credit except for being the fingers. It's mostly channeled information and it's good. But, it's all about love and light, Yeah. Yeah.
I think I've learned to trust them a little more because I get these things all the time and I just think, well, I'm making it up.
Well, it feels like that. It feels like you're making it up because your imagination is very powerful. And that your imagination allows you to tap into the unseen world. And there's more of them than there are of us. So I think you just have to practice. I told you the most common question that people ask me is, how do you know it's Buddha's voice? And I always say, how do you know it's your mom on the phone? Could be somebody else masquerading as your mom, right? Could be, I don't mean to sound silly, but that's people. Oh, totally different. Just like you two sound different. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I want to do some around
I do. I have 2 coming up. Yeah. They're a week apart. One is going to be basic, and the next one will go a little deeper into, going into.
I did the basics.
If you already have mastered the basics. Yeah.
I came, I listened.
I personally like taking basic stuff over and over because it builds your skills and you get to practice more. So unless you're doing it on your own. The best way to learn is to practice on other people's animals. So that's a reason alone to go to a class, is because you get to practice on all these animals that you don't know the answer to. You don't know the answer. Yeah.
And Brooke is still enjoying being naked. When we took the class, she said, if you like this color so much, you wear it. So I took the collar off.
Yeah, most animals hate collars.
It was a beautiful collar. And I had a crystal on it for her.
Well, most of them still don't want that, you know. I've met a few dogs that like their collar though. They like proudly wear it, but not very
I
many.
always wondered, because Halloween they dress these poor animals up. And you're going, isn't that cute? I don't think the animal.
Well, I think you should ask the animal.
Yeah, I don't think they really want to wear all that stuff.
I don't either, but you know, again, ask the animal. So, Whoop, almost fell off. Look at her.
You are so lucky. Look at that.
I almost fell off the couch. All right, I think we lost them for more than 5 minutes. Come on back, you guys. We're going to do one more layer 2 with Sherry. Sherry is volunteered.
Carla, you want to do it? Oh, no, you hold on.
Okay, we're back. Sherry, are you there?
I'm here.
You're there?
I'm here. Yep.
Okay. So everybody wipe the slate clean from Helen's energy and your energy, and we start again. Number 1, we open sacred space, which we have done. So just take a moment to acknowledge the sacred space. Seeing yourself in the beautifully attuned octahedron. Let's just do a little center below, center above. Breathing prana from the earth and the sun into your heart, center within. And now radiating core energy. You see the lighthouse sweeping in both directions.
Mm-hmm.
Good. There we go. Nice. Okay, so grab your water. Put your feet in water. Hey, water, we bless you. Water, we love you. We're so grateful for you, water. Reverend. We apologize for any time we've ever harmed you or polluted you. And we say so to the water in our body, the waters of the world. Water, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Water, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Water, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Through the power of our divine essence, we raise the vibration of this water, the water in our bodies, and the waters of the world to the highest possible vibration. We celebrate this beautiful drink of crystalline light. So Sherry, we worked together, we're pretending now for a while, and in the sense of, you know, one-on-one. And so today we've decided, with your permission, to work on layer 2 of your DNA, which is emotional coding. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
And learning all the different lessons of love and how, you know, how we all do it differently, basically, and how we can increase our vibration by remembering when we learn a new lesson of love that it stays with us in our DNA and every lifetime. We never have to learn it again. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
Like we'll never have to burn our finger on the stove again. You know, 'cause we got it. We got it. Okay. So I'm going to play a few dolphin sounds to attune us to the frequency of the cetaceans.
Okay.
And everyone just allow the dolphin energy to permeate your cellular structure. we listen to the dolphins, we ask for a merger of our higher self, the totality of our greater I am presence. We acknowledge our three master guides as we call them in to triangulate around us. And we call in the three spirit dolphins that would like to work with you now. So in that sense, we have the beautiful 6 lights around us forming the Star of David, feeling the bloodstream, the molecular structure begin to change. As we move deep into the heart, into a meditative state, breathing slowly, deep into the abdomen, and allowing the dolphins access now to your perceptions, your beliefs, and your awareness. Allowing various colors now to sweep over you, through you, and merge. The dolphins are masters of color healing, all the while using the color to create more balance. We open to faith. We know that the universe is unlimited and they have sent us beautiful emissaries of joy, we call the dolphins, to assist us at the highest vibration for our own DNA. And now I'd like you to visualize the Dolphin Ascended Council coming right down now into your home, around you in a circle. As they descend tail first, they stand upright. We please call forth Simeon.
Welcome, Simeon.
Welcome Freya.
Welcome.
Welcome Mercola.
Hello, welcome.
Hello Hatha
You're welcome.
and JL
Yeah, welcome.
and Exava. Welcome Sigla.
Sigla, welcome.
Persuela.
Welcome.
Welcome Cavalia.
Natalia, welcome.
And now Exeter. Welcome Zeregla and Elamir. Now the Council of 12 Ascended Dolphins is standing upright in a circle around you, radiating their light into your heart, asking for you to surrender to that which they can assist you with. Reminding you, when we work with layer 2, we work with the divine blueprint of law within you, which is encoded into the 12 strands of DNA. Take a breath now all the way down to the solar plexus. Begin to recirculate the energy. You can even use the symbol of the infinity loop as you do this. And see the chakras changing and your body becoming softer. And take a moment now to think about the different changes that you would like to see happen in your emotional and physical body. All the while allowing yourself to move into surrender. And as you breathe deeply, the dolphins affirm they are hearing your sacred intentions. Continuing to open to physical healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing. Not be limited by these life lessons. Much of life that you have had until now has integrated into your DNA, was accomplished by previous lifetimes, and some in this lifetime. So as we say the names of the lessons of love, we focus on the ones where we feel an emotional trigger, the ones that cause us to go, I'd like a little more of that, please. Okay? And all the while acknowledging the ones where we can feel neutrality and joy, and we know we've already accomplished those. So as I read the name of the lesson of life, the lesson of love, make a mental or a physical note to come back to that and to acknowledge the trigger that happens when you hear the words. Also, at any point, a memory may surface that will immediately anchor itself or tie itself to the trigger that you're having that's a negative one. Trust this memory as it surfaces and make a notation, if you can, of positive or negative as we proceed. So obviously the overriding presence of the lesson is learning to love in all ways. Next comes learning to listen. And now learning to receive. Learning to love ourselves. Self-love. Learning to speak our truth. Learning how not to play the victim. And learning not to let anyone else define you. Learning how to really feel into your own unique mastery. Learning how to live joyfully among other humans. Here's some people laughing. Okay. Learning how to get out of blaming each other and letting go of judgment. Learning how to live outside of duality or polarity. Drop the karma. Learning deeper levels of self-love, which include learning how to take really good care of you. Learn that you are worthy, that you are deserving. You deserve to be here. You are a divine, immortal, eternal being. You're having a human experience. You are so dearly loved. So Sherry, I'm going to come back to you now. Can you tell me which one or ones of those particular statements caused a trigger for you, a negative response?
Self-mastery. I felt very uncomfortable with that one, and worthy that I deserve to be here, and joyfully living amongst humans. That made me laugh. So,
that one what?
Made me laugh.
So self-mastery, and what was the second one?
Worthiness. I'm worthy to be here.
Worthy. Okay. Good. Was that easy to identify?
Yeah, they came out pretty clear.
Good.
I mean, I could see. Yeah, that they weren't the ones I thought I would pick.
That's okay. Yeah, join the crowd. It's not always the one. It's very hard sometimes to see ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the sense of the divine light. Okay.
Yeah.
Good girl. Good girl. Thank you for being that honest. That's a big step here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want you to think of a memory, and it could be again from childhood or adulthood, or one that you feel like we talked about that you already came in with, you were born with, where the trigger started. And I'm going to muscle test with the dolphins while you do that, okay?
Okay. Do you want me to say aloud what's coming to mind?
Yeah, in just a couple minutes, or a couple seconds.
Okay.
Just kind of seeing where the dolphins want to start here. Okay, and the one they're showing me that they feel they can help you the most with to begin with is the worthiness, the being deserving of all good things.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the first thing they're saying is probably something you know, but it's something to consider, which is that our society and our schools and pretty much our parents and everybody is really taught to teach that it's ego if we want to say ourselves that we're worthy or that we're deserving, that it's ego or that we're selfish, as opposed to being spiritual beings. Even our religions teach us to fall on our knees, right? And that you're not worthy, that you have to have, a priest or somebody, maybe an angel or God, help you. You're not capable of being God. So do you believe that, or do you have a particular religious belief I should know about?
No, I don't have a religious belief.
Okay. So you believe that you are, in the sense of what we're speaking of, that you are worthy. It's just achieving it and bringing it into the DNA, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Good. So how do you feel about the statement, no one is loved more than another.
No one is loved more than another. I believe that.
By God.
Divinely, yes.
or by Mother Earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
Good. Certainly, what we are loved more than another by the humans that we, have relationships with.
Right.
But I was speaking of God. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good. That all beings deserve to feel loved, and that everyone is an eternal being, as we said, that's so loved and trusted to come here and have this experience and find your way through the duality of this planet, right? That the focus and the discipline required to be here is not really even appropriate for a young soul, because it is such a challenge, And then again, going up against the grain of how thought is here. It takes a while to change the collective thought, as we all know, from whatever that is. A reference was, I was thinking, just as something that has changed relatively quickly, at least from my perspective, and I'm only one person, but that would be when I grew up, and I was born in 1957 to, let's say, maybe even 10 years ago, I felt it with how African Americans are treated equally now in most places, job-wise, and, they're not considered. I know my parents, when I grew up, they traveled a lot, and they were alive when they had separate bathrooms, and, they had different places to eat. They couldn't even use the restroom in a white person's restaurant. It was just horrible, horrible. Or they were considered second-class citizens, or stupid, or, slaves, basically. Horrible, horrible. And look how far we've come, I guess is what I'm saying. So maybe from an African American perspective, it didn't happen fast enough. But considering how slow society changes, I think it's a pretty good example of we can change as a culture. So that's what the Dolphins are saying. So with that perspective in mind, let's look at society potentially becoming worthy, feeling deserving, and not deserving more than another, but of equal, that we all feel God's love equally, and we all feel capable, and that we have the support from humanity to be who we really are, as individuals, but yet functional in the collective. So that, what I just said, was the Dolphins is sort of the foundation of where they want to start with you. How does that feel?
Hitting home.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's go to the earliest memory that you can summon where you didn't feel worthy or deserving. Just let it come naturally.
Well, when I was 2, and when I was in the womb.
Okay. Can you describe?
When I was 2,
Yeah.
I was just left by myself a lot, and my parents fought a lot, and so yeah, I was just kind of left by myself. And in the womb, due to the fact that my dad was abusive towards my mom, she didn't want to have me, so she tried to abort me.
Okay. So let me ask now, in recent years, are your parents alive?
Yes.
Okay. And how is the relationship now?
That my dad and my mom don't speak at all. My mom has no forgiveness for him whatsoever, and would still like to see him rot in jail. So, and my dad, he has Alzheimer's, and he's not resentful or angry. He's just not the same person. So
he's losing his sentience, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, and your mom, how's your relationship with your mom?
Strained. It's still, I carry that, and I'm really trying to understand, okay, this is my lesson, and to be, and not to be so affected all the time by just It's how I feel is she doesn't really want me around. She wants me if I have something to offer her. But it's a very strange relationship, and so that makes me sad.
Yeah. So you haven't really ever had a relationship with her where you felt supported?
No.
Okay. And do you have brothers and sisters?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are they supportive of you?
My oldest brother, he doesn't have anything to do with the family, and the middle brother, he tries to be supportive, but it's a very unhealthy support, if that makes sense.
Can you describe it?
I'm put down all the time. What I do is not that important, airy fairy, you know.
Not acknowledged.
Right.
Okay. Right. So what about friends?
I have great friends.
Good.
Yeah,
So
my friends are more like family. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So that support's coming from non-biological family is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The Dolphins are asking permission to go one level deeper with you. Is that all right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Take a minute. Okay. So what they're saying is both of your parents, I guess, we don't really like labels, but if we're going to use labels, they would be considered laggard souls that have not, created light and love lifetime after lifetime, and have done some type of abuse or have been narcissistic and not come to service for the planet, which of course is every lifetime. The goal is to come back to service. And that you were born around the time so many of us were born into a family, but usually just with one parent that was a laggard, or we married them, or had a brother or sister that was a laggard. And a laggard soul is one that was kicked off of another planet, and then generally speaking was here on Atlantis doing a lot of destruction during the time of Atlantis. Often are the survivors from Maldek, which was the planet that was Lucifer's, that was blown up between Mars and Jupiter. That's where the asteroid belt is now. Or for survivors from Mars, when Mars became no longer survivable. We didn't blow up the planet, but we destroyed the surface of the planet, or the people that lived there did. So they came to Earth seeking a place to live, and we took them on because we felt that we had enough light, enough of the collective of humans that was on the ascension path, that we could help them, and no other planets would take them. So it's often considered the greatest act of compassion that the universe has ever witnessed. But it put us way back on the timeline for ascension, because unfortunately what we would call the laggard soul experiment did not work. We felt we could bring them to the light, being the collective of light workers. And I was one of those people, like you are. And most of us were really severely damaged in the process of the experiment, you being one of them. And so we're not allowed to be with them anymore. We don't birth them. We don't marry them. We don't put people into contracts anymore with laggard souls. Not saying none of them were saved. I'm saying most of them weren't. A good source for this is Gnosis and the Law. It's a book, or Patricia Cota-Robles is a pretty good source for this too, rfpeace.org. She studies it. Buddha studies it. So our intention now is to help them find a home, but knowing most of them won't ascend, and for them to get off the planet because they're damaging the ascension path to this day. How do you feel about that?
Makes sense.
Okay. It causes a lot of emotion to come up because we really do often love the people we choose to be our parents, and we really did think we could help them.
Yeah, I just figured it makes me question. It's like love is supposed to
be the most powerful, then it doesn't seem to
Well,
matter.
and we're not saying that they won't be helped. We're not saying that. All paths lead home. We're just saying it won't be maybe in the near future. They're going to need some more time. And so Mother Earth is very graciously finding them homes, okay?
Yep.
So what you really need to feel in all of this is what the dolphins are saying is none of this is your fault. You didn't do something wrong to be unloved. They weren't capable of giving it to you. And they cannot give you what they didn't have. That is one of the hugest lessons on our planet right now is the laggards cannot give you what, and not even just the laggards, people that are playing in the dark.
Yep.
They can't give you. I mean, this is why relationships are so challenging is because one is loving and kind and maybe often it's the mother, right, raising the children, and the male is he just can't do it. He just can't give that family what they need. Not always. Sometimes it's the mother too. Okay. And they succumb to alcoholism or drugs or abuse or all of the. In my case, my husband was abuse, schizophrenia, and their intention when they're going through this is for you to believe it's your fault.
Yes.
So they feel better.
Yes.
So this is a good example of beings that are recycling energy at the very high level. They're not connected to source. They don't know their divine origins. So they can't call out for the star family because they don't know that they are that. And for the most part, they don't jive with religion because religion would have you give your power away. And they don't want to give their power away. They want to take your power. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So of the two parents, of dad and mom, which one do you feel was where you were damaged the most? Which one?
My mom.
And what is her name?
Barbara.
Okay. And she's still living.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So would you be willing to work with Barbara?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the dolphins are creating this beautiful womb room. And with your permission, they're going to usher you into the room and take you to this beautifully appointed chair that serves your magnificence and allow you to take a seat and just begin to breathe. Don't think of anything yet, just breathe and just feel very loved and supported. Master Put is coming in and saying there's an old saying that you can take with you now, and that is it takes one to know one. And you cannot get love from one who does not have love to give. But you can get it from the dolphins.
Yes.
And you can get it from her, she says, and you can get it from my mom, and you can get it from this beautiful school and from the whales. So right now, that's what they want you to feel is the love and support that just comes from this group even. And then a love of your creator, the love the way Mother Earth loves you, and the amazing being that you are. All that you have to give, your beautiful gifts. Next thing that Put is coming in and saying is, remember, no one is loved more than another. Even the laggards are loved. They're just not in a position to receive it. But you are in a position to receive source light now. So let yourself really be filled up with source light and really feel Mother Earth reaching up, just it's almost like the beautiful plant is growing all around you and embracing you.
I just felt that.
Like it's entwining around your legs. Do you feel that? That's what they're showing
Yes,
you.
I did.
What I'm seeing. The plants are loving you up. The flowers are blooming around you. They just really want you to feel the love of the earth. Yeah. And the smell. Now I'm getting smells, aromas of flowers. Yeah.
It's kawaii.
Yeah, kawaii, right. Now that you know a little bit more about your mom, let's go back to when you negotiated this contract. And your mom was a flaggering, she's like clawing her way to this planet. And she didn't have a purpose or anything. And so you negotiated to be her daughter, saying, I can bring her around. I can show her. Because you're an old soul. You have a lot of experience. You're Lemurian. You never doubted it for a minute. She's like, at least you can laugh. That's good. And of course, Source Light said, okay, this is what you want, and all of us as a collective, right? Go for it. Okay, so with that in mind, let's ask Barbara's permission to come into the womb room, okay? There we go. She's finally coming. At first, it was a no.
I was thinking that,
Now she's here. All right, let's just take a moment where you both sit and look at each other and really look into each other's eyes. Let's see the divinity within her, too. One day, we don't know when, but she's going to discover that divinity again. It's not hard at all for you to see it, for me to see it. See her there. Lift her up. Now, I want you to know that no matter what happens here today, she's going to be loved and supported in a way that you just can't give her right now. And it's not even appropriate that you try. I want you to feel that and see if that's okay. What we're going to do is talk about the past a little bit, and we're going to end the contract if you're willing. But you're not going to be her healer. And I think releasing that is part of what the Dolphins would like to see you do today. Is you can acknowledge her as the woman that gave you birth, and, gave you life, but not so much as a real family member, because she's not. How does that feel?
actually pretty good.
Good. Good. Yeah, it's not every day they ask you to give up your mom, huh?
No, it's almost a relief.
You're going to be better off, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to say, as I wouldn't be able to be the voice for the Dolphins in this particular conversation if I hadn't had it happen to me through my husband. There's just, there's the ones out there that we're not the ones for them. Not anymore, okay? And the paths are separating. Okay, Barbara. So, but really in a very loving way, I mean, this is more for you than for her today. Okay? So I want you to tell her, this is Elamir, I want you to tell her what it was like to be a child in your family home with her as the mother. I want you to be honest and forthcoming. And she's ready. So you go ahead and tell her.
Well, I just never felt like I got to be a child. I always felt like I had to take care of you instead of just being playful and joyful. It was always about drama and abuse, and it was always about you. And didn't matter what I did. It just was never good enough. And so I lacked self-confidence, and I know now that, I mean, it's a gift, and I'm owning it. But it was really hard, and I just never really felt truly loved and wanted, or even like I even mattered. So I was lonely. I was lonely.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I'm following their energy, they're saying they want you to tell her what you felt about being left alone or ignored. That this is where some of the wounding really is. And that for whatever you want to say or how you want to say it, she agreed to be your mother and she could have done better. So if you don't want to say that, it's okay, but that's what they're suggesting. Something to that effect from your heart.
Well, I don't want to hurt you. But at the same time, I have a voice, and I have a right to my feelings, and I'm a human being. Holy crap.
Okay, stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
It is claiming your power. And on another level, no one can hurt anyone without permission, okay?
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
not really about you hurting your mom, it's about you being honest. There's a difference. So get honest.
Okay. It would have been nice growing up to have a role model. I really looked up to you. You're so beautiful, physically beautiful. You would walk in a room and everybody would stop and stare. And you're so intelligent and you just have so many gifts and you just played the role of the victim and it's everybody else's fault. And I just wanted to be close to you. I just wanted to feel loved by you. I just wanted to spend some time with you, or you to even want to spend time with me. And well, I just really, I mean, I definitely felt a lot of anger towards you. I don't anymore. I just feel sad. I feel sad that I can't love you. So it's mine now, and that's mine, and I will heal that. And I really am grateful for all the lessons, because I really have learned self-love and to how to learn to love others and to let others in with healthy boundaries, and to not play the role of the victim, and to forgive. I mean, honestly, the gift you have taught me is forgiveness, that I just do not want to be angry and resentful and blame others and have that run my life the way it's run yours. And so thank you for that gift.
Nice. The Dolphins are saying, I now know I deserved much better. How does that feel?
Yes, I definitely deserved a lot better. And it's not my fault. And honestly, with the work with the whales and the dolphins in just this amount of short time, I have gained so much more self-love. And when I went to see you a couple weeks ago and I saw the same pattern, it didn't matter what I said or what I did. And Mom, I went there to help you. And you still stuffed everything in my face and threw it all back at me. And you know what? I get it's not me, and I'm really grateful. And I, for the first time in my life, would rather be me. I'm, yeah. So that's how I feel.
Good. So you've reclaimed your power in that sense.
Yes.
You're working with the deep forgiveness. That's good. Very good. Okay. So if we turn it over to her to speak to you, are you able to hear her, you think? You want to try?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Barbara. If you'd like to apologize or speak to your daughter, this is a good time.
Do you want me to say what I just heard?
I do. Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Am I allowed to swear?
Yes, you are allowed to swear.
She just said, "You fucking bitch." That's what I heard.
Yeah. That sounds like a laggard. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go back to that statement that she cannot give you what she does not have yet to give. And for whatever reason, the higher self is not really being allowed in. That the personality of this person is strong and wants to come in and still control you. Do you feel that?
Yep.
Okay. So the best advice the Dolphins can give you is to work at a distance with continual forgiveness, not only for her, but for the other laggard souls as well, that are not able yet to reach source light directly, that are draining other people's light because that's all they know. And to love like God loves as you can, which is, all-encompassing love for all beings everywhere, and not make a condition of mother, father, or family, so to speak. And if you have to reach for that, that's okay. But know that that would be the goal. That we wish all of the laggard souls well, including your parents.
Absolutely.
But we no longer wish to cohabitate with them, and we no longer wish to give our power to them.
No.
And in a very loving way, this is Master Buddha, we're going to give them back to God.
Ah, yes.
Can you do that? Give her back to God?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
God will know what to do with her.
That's huge, Lori. Yes.
So let's do that now. Let's help her give her mother back to God. Just hand her over. Just pick her up and give her into God's arms. And just release. It feels so good. I can feel it just even from here. Hand her back and say, I tried. I loved you. You know, I asked for what I thought was rightfully mine as your daughter, and I'm sorry. It just didn't work. And it's okay because, you know, everything in this planet that's set up in duality doesn't work, does it? And sometimes we learn the most from what doesn't work. You know, we're not meant to have everything work because we learn from what doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I want you to see her just, you know, like an innocent child now sitting on Creator's lap and see Mother Earth loving her up. And if you can, Buddha's saying maybe you can go 2 or 3 months with no communication and really strengthening this boundary. That doesn't mean you'll never talk to her again. It just means you need some time. And to really cut the cord. Now, I don't know if you want to cut the cord between mother and daughter. It feels like you might. Let's ponder that now. Or to, you know, leave the cord there, but put some real distance between you for a while.
So if I cut the cord, does that mean
You mean that you don't want her to play the part of your mother any longer in this lifetime?
I'm ready to cut the cord?
Okay.
I have a mother.
So let the dolphins give you the scissors and just take a moment. This is a big deal. Let's cut this contract completely out. And really only you can do it. And do it with love, okay? Do it with conviction, but do it with love. It's the highest and best decision that you say is for you right now. And there won't be a future in the relationship you two have as physical beings. You okay with that?
Yeah, I set you free, Mom. I love you. I am here for you in love. I wish you so much joy and happiness, and I hope you find that. But it's time to finish this contract. Thank you for playing the role that you played, and yeah, I set you free.
Beautiful. So there's not going to be a gift from her to you. You probably know that by now. But if you'd like to give her a parting gift as you remove your consciousness from this relationship, is there anything you'd like to give her?
Love. Just I want her to be happy, like find some peace. And
the dolphins are suggesting you think of something that's a token that will help you keep the contract intact. Because when you think of that, what you gifted her, that will help keep the separation between you.
A dove, a white dove.
Okay. So visualize yourself now standing up and giving her that dove.
She's accepting.
They're taking her out of the room now, if that's all right with you.
Yep.
Okay. And Buddha's saying, when this becomes a challenge, if it does, you call on her, because she's been a witness to this. And she can be with you in a heartbeat. Yeah, she can be there and help you as, you know, you continue to keep this boundary strong.
Yep.
And see her with Creator and with Mother Earth and know that she's going to be all right. And so are you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job, honey.
Thank you so much.
This is so big that they're not wanting to do another one today. However, there are others. This is going to take some time. I'm getting 3 weeks to be really focused and diligent on more self-love for yourself. Just keep pouring it in and do affirmations of, you know, I am affirmations of empowerment and self-nurturing. And enjoy praying now, praying and intending just for you for a while. Not so much for the world and others. Let's really put that focus on you and know that's okay. You're going to take a vacation from maybe helping the world for a while. How's that feel?
Different. I will do that.
With the exception of doing the homework for this class.
Oh, that's so loving. That's the giving. In the giving is the receiving, and vice versa. It's just a beautiful process.
Yeah. So we bless her and we release her along with you to the divine. And knowing that the world is a better place because of the emotional decisions that you made today to honor yourself. So, and as always, the dolphins say we applaud you for asking for a greater peace in your life, and that you've chosen now to align, more specifically with your divinity. So may you continue to access this energy that you've created today and use it wisely, and know so deeply how you are loved. Feel how Poota's loving you, feel how we're loving you, feel how the dolphins and whales love you, your higher self loves you. And know that all is well and you're going to be perfectly okay, even better than okay. You're going to be super great. Well, this is completely, I know you've heard that, like 21, 22 days is a good amount of period to allow for a big change in your life. So that's what they're suggesting.
Okay.
You are an eternal, immortal, spiritual being with a divine destiny, and we're all here to support you, including the dolphins. So, namaste.
Namaste.
Good job, Sherry.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And hopefully, others receive some insight, because you are going to come across laggard souls as you all work together and in the world. And you can think of people that came to the planet from another place that were already very, very damaged. And we did the best we could. And now our job is to give them back to God and to put a distance between us. It's too important now. We can't afford to lose a light worker. That's how important the ascension is right now to a laggard soul. So, okay, we're going to look at the homework and things that are coming up. You share the screen. Awesome, guys. Good class. Okay, so please complete your meditation that you created today, or your message, however you want to call it, and send it to us by October 11th. It can be personal, it can be for the world, it can be, doesn't have to, it's a message from the dolphins and whales. Please complete that. I didn't write that down yet, but I will. The assignment is due Friday, October 11th, end of day. If you choose not to complete this assignment, you will not enter the intern program. You know that. You are to give layer 2 dolphin DNA calibration, your revealed divinity layer, to 3 different classmates. This is the first time since the class has started where you get to choose the classmates. You get to find, and we're encouraging you to seek out someone you haven't worked with yet. Use the processes on page 71 to 72 with the saline foot bath, play dolphin sounds, take time to allow the speaker dolphin to coach the person like I just did, using the womb or a separate room. Set up 2 chairs and see who comes in, asking for forgiveness and clarity regarding one or more emotional issues that are triggering them from the lessons on learning to love. So you're going to do 3 different times minimum with 3 different people that hopefully that you haven't had a chance to work with yet. You may choose and approach 3 different classmates. You have the option, but not required, to continue on with the light body activation. That's going to depend on your schedules, I know that. Use PowerPoint number 4 for at least one of the 3 sessions, just to get practice with it. However, I am completely revamping it. Well, not completely, but I'm changing it to make it better. Use one client form for each of these 3 sessions. Okay, number 2, ask one of your friends or family members that has already received a whale healing and clearing session to continue on with you. Give them a session starting with layer 2 for dolphin DNA calibration. Then move into an appropriate light body activation that you could choose with assistance from the whales. I encourage you, if you're working with a friend or family member that you've already worked with, to not use the PowerPoint with them, and to not plan a PowerPoint with the whales. I would say a half hour to 45 minutes with the dolphin DNA calibration, doing the best you can. Hour at the most, and then leaving at least 30 minutes for a whale light body activation without PowerPoint, okay? You can use affirmations from the manual if you like. This particular session with a friend or family member that you're continuing on with, do record that session and keep the download in your files. I probably won't ask for it, but I want you to record it. I want to know that if I ask you for it, you're going to have it, and that you practiced recording it and sending it to them and putting it into your own archives. Any questions about the assignment? Anybody? Everybody's good? Okay, come back.
I have a question. This is Candace.
Okay.
I thought that with layer 2 that we don't do anything else with it. We just do the layer 2.
No, I usually tell my clients when I'm going to do layer 2 that it's going to be an hour and a half to 2 hour session. I ask if they're going to approve that because obviously payment. And then you can do what I just did. You can see Sherry really benefited from it, but we just did one person. We didn't go into several people that I did with the first one. You're going to have to just temper it, with the time frame you've got. But then go at least do a meditation with the whales after, with the person that you're coming back to. You don't have to do that with classmates, but that's how your world is going to function. Unless you get a client, I'm going to say that's got huge emotional issues, is paying you well, and they're really, really, really benefiting from layer 2. You might make an exception once in a while. Just do that. Okay? I mean, we want to be, I don't ever want to get into a place where we're so strict with the rules that you miss an opportunity. You see what I'm saying? Where you're working so well, let's say with layer 2, and then, timer's up, have to go, move into light body. Generally speaking, at least allow 30 to 45 minutes. And again, you can do that without a PowerPoint. Have them do the affirmations, call in the whales, put them down for 20, 30 minutes. It's a nice way to end it and seal it up.
Okay. And then the other question is for the second, the one we're doing with someone we've already had in our life, if we're going to do a whale healing, clearing, and a light body and a dolphin all in one, so it's just, we can do that much that quickly?
I don't think you understood the assignment. We're coming back. The person that, look at number 2, it's someone that's already received a whale healing and clearing from you.
Yeah, but we're going to do a light body and a dolphin all in one for their second.
Layer 2, dolphin DNA recalibration, and then move into appropriate light body activation that you choose, okay? So you might want to ask them to plan a couple hours, if you can. If you only want to take an hour and a half, then make sure you're keeping an eye on the clock and you don't go into at least like a second person with the DNA recalibration, okay? Leave 30 to 40 minutes for the whales without PowerPoints. Okay?
I was under the impression that like the second session we give somebody is going to be a light body, and then after that we wait till another session to do the dolphin. But you're saying that we can do both in the second session?
Yep, because it's the last class. And the whales seem to trust you, is what they told me, so.
Okay. And so going forward with other people, we can do that in the future as well, or? Well,
usually in the future, your DNA calibration is gonna, notice that I said friend or family member, someone that knows you. So they're already gonna like you, They already know you. They like you. They're not going to run for the hills. In
Yeah.
your real practice, I don't think I would do a layer 2 right away. Not probably in the maybe till the 3rd, 4th, 5th week, and that would depend on the person. Remember, you can always muscle test, and you can always ask the whales and dolphins what's best for that person. Okay.
Okay.
And then remember to ask the person too, and see how they feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then trust what comes forward. Okay, quick commercial. Starting October 8th.
Lori, can I just ask for a clarification on that? So
Yeah.
you would do the layer 2 first, and then you would do the PowerPoint, and then you would do the light body activation meditation?
Yeah, but I may not do a PowerPoint on the day I choose to do layer 2. I would, because it takes up, extra time.
But you want them to do the affirmations from the PowerPoint?
Yeah, they need to give permission. Okay. Always they need to give permission. Did you notice that I asked permission today of everybody before we went in?
So when we do that second homework assignment, we can then just ask. They don't have to actually go through all the affirmations of the PowerPoint.
Well, get out the manual, get out the affirmations, and pick some.
Okay.
I mean, just pick. I'm getting to the point where I want you guys to feel into it.
Okay.
And not, be so structured in the sense of, yes, we need permission. Yes, we need affirmations. On certain days, PowerPoints are good. But on other days, if you're going to do layer 2 and then a white whale activation, just do the affirmations and call in the whales. Always call in the whales. And then go ahead with the meditation. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Complete with a personal message. Okay, so here's our commercial. We're going to do a channeling class, which is really fun. And Puda teaches this class. It's really great. I kind of take it along with you. You can come here, or you can come, assuming we get some people that will come here. If not, I'll do it in my office and have you come in there. But it's obviously on Zoom, and it's 4 weeks of channeling angels and ascended masters and benevolent light beings. And some of them will come to you, and some of them will come to Puda, and you're going to channel a whole bunch of people in the 4 weeks. It's really fun, really great, really good practice, very uplifting. So, yeah, well, and you guys are a shoo-in to keep doing it, because you'll benefit more than somebody who's like, oh, you do it, Okay, so animal communication classes, Puda one of these back to back. So level 1, basic animal communication class, where I teach basic triangulation, and we start working with lots of, each person has 3 animals, hopefully, to bring pictures. And we just do a lot of practice to build your confidence, okay? And we'll also do a meditation. So it's a good class, it's 3 hours. And then the next one is the October 20th, where we're gonna do a body scan and a little bit more detailed animal communication, where the animal gets to tell you things that you don't know. Like, mostly in the basic class, we ask things when we practice that you already know the answer to, so the class gets a validation. Like, if I say to you, what's Puda's favorite food? Well, I already know what Puda's favorite food is. Somebody needs to know the answer to validate the questioning. In the second class, we get into questions we don't know the answer to get different layers of what's really going on. Okay, and it's profound. It's really good. So there's a discount if you take both of them. I think it's $15. So I think one class is $33 and both are $50. So here's the next boat trip coming up. It's October 27th. We're gonna see dolphins and whales, do healing on the grass, meditations after.
That's a Sunday?
Maybe we need proofing.
Because I have a wedding on the 2nd.
You're right. It's a Sunday. The 26th is Saturday.
Okay.
That's okay. Thanks for asking. Sometimes there's mistakes. Okay, and then we're doing the same kind of stuff we did up on Mount Shasta. Shorter version of that, working with the Pelosians. Here, we'll have ceremony outside. We'll do some drumming, and Altazar will be a part of it, and it's going to be, a lot of people didn't get to go up to Mount Shasta, so the teachings of Lemuria. And then on November 10th, we're going to do, this is a really cool class, and it's just really cheap. It's $22 to honor the Divine Feminine, the call to action, I call it, which is 11-11-11 is the sacred day, but it happens to fall on a Monday. But you know, it's still a portal. 11/11/11 is a portal, as you all. Well, 11/11 is a portal, but it will be 11/11/19. And we'll do a little bit of Mooney Key. We'll talk about your star family, and afterwards we'll have a meal for people who can come. So we encourage people to come to this also that have never come to the school, because they'll feel really welcome. And it's, you know, there's nothing like celebrating the divine feminine. So that's going to be ceremony and class, so to speak. And then all the retreats are up now for Hawaii in February with Roberta and Kahuna Kalei. Probably Joan will speak to. I haven't confirmed that yet, though. The Gray Whale retreat where you go and touch the whales in March, camping trip. This is awesome. That's a bucket list. Somebody, yeah, I ought to do that at some point in your life. See us petting the little whales there. Little baby whale. And then there's an optional trip to go to the Sea of Cortez, which is where we land, you know, when we fly, and to see the blue whales and the humpback whales, and to go to Magdalena Bay. So, two little optional trips. And there's Bimini in June. There's Bimini, what the island looks like. It's a little tiny island. And then we already have the dates for Maria next year. And I have 4 people, so and I can only take 11. So this is popular. So let me know. If you don't have a lot of money, but you know you want to go, you can just put up a deposit. And it's $3,300. And right now there's a coupon that's good through October 1st. For no, it's not included here. No. People come from all over the world, you know, we can't. I don't know what your airfare would be, but we flew I on French Bee, which is about $800. So it's French Bee from San Francisco is really affordable. And I heard United is going to match them. So where it used to be like $2,000, now it's less than $1,000. So at least from the United States. So okay, that's my commercial. Thank you, everyone. I hope that. Oh, and there's a $100 off coupon for retreats that goes towards any retreat. And the deposit is $500 for most of them and $600 for Maria. So you can put it towards your deposit if you want to. And then most people, like Maria last year, most people just made payments along the line. They registered a year out and just put a little bit down here and there. So I'm fine with that. You don't have to have it all at once. Most people don't, you know. Okay. Anything, anywhere, anybody. Mwah. Big kiss. Everybody's good? Been
Lori.
awesome.
Lori.
I'm coming back. Yep.
I'm sorry. Are you going to email us all the instructions for the internship with all the details? Because I know you went through it, but.
Yep. It's on the website too, though.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you.
I have to change the date that we agreed to. I have it all written down. I think we agreed to 5 months, and we agreed to the first intern class. Yeah, I will send you that.
I have a quick question, Lori.
Okay.
It's Nauda. Could you spend 1 minute talking about the personification of the PowerPoint presentations? How much leeway we have, or what should remain for sure?
About the PowerPoint for the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, the ones we are personalizing. Yeah.
Okay, just Laura. Say it again.
Yeah, if you have any guidelines as to how we personalize it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, the part where it's Lori Rayon and Master Cat Puda, you can take that out and put your picture in.
Okay.
If you have a name for your business, you can take out wherever it says Omnidimensional Mystery School and put in the name of your business. If not, put your name there. You're going to put, you know, I guess your email in or your website. I don't expect y'all to have websites yet. Okay, let's take 1 minute and look at that. Personalizing the PowerPoint.
Lori, this is just the first PowerPoint that we're going to be.
Well, you need to do 1 and 2 anyway. Okay, so right here, you change this line right here. That's only 1 line.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that. Put your own picture here. Take that out and put your stuff in.
Okay.
Put your picture there. I think that's about it.
Okay.
Go to the end. This is my logo. Put your logo in.
Okay, great.
Or just leave it ending there.
Okay, great. Thank
Or
you.
make a slide with your, your name, your email, your phone number, or something like that. You want people to be able to contact you, even if you don't have a website yet. Okay, so that's not hard.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can use my logo to say you were certified through the Omnidimensional Mystery School. Yeah, LoriReon.com. Yeah. Yeah, we should probably even make a statement that you can use. But right now you can play with that, yeah. Because you're not certified yet, but when you are, yeah. Yeah.
And you'll send us the instructions for the session with you, because I know you talked about it, but
I'm going to be your client. So what do you mean instructions?
A regular session.
You're going to send me some kind of confirmation to confirm our appointment time. You're going to send me the PowerPoint 5 minutes before we start, 10 minutes before we start.
Are we going to do Zoom?
Ask me for the phone number that you want me to call you at. This is all just basic stuff for all your clients. Don't you do that? Ask each other how you're going to get in touch with each other, and I'll give you a phone number that you don't have.
Can we do Zoom?
I'd prefer you don't. I want to see your phone technique. Okay? Okay, wait a minute though. Okay, then you're going to do the whole PowerPoint number 1 in the first 30 minutes, hopefully. Okay? And after that, I'll give you my notes. And then we'll go into something else. And I don't know necessarily what that'll be. Probably I'll ask to look at part of your PowerPoint number 2, or I'll ask if you had a meditation you want to share. I don't know. I'm going to play it by ear with each of you. But the first half hour is going to be you presenting what you're going to present to the world. Every single client, you're going to do a whale healing and clearing, and I want to see how you're going to do it. And then you can email me a message, because we're not going to take part of that hour for you to do that. Does that make it clear? Okay. There's no grade. I just want to see how you're doing. I'm doing this so I can see if I need to help you or I need to compliment you. One of the two. Okay? Okay.
Lori.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else?
Just a question. Can you tell us again what recorder you use?
It's a little Sony digital recorder. Yeah, you want to grab it? I think it's on my desk. And it plugs right in to the USB port. It also has a place for batteries, but to be honest, I've never ever changed the batteries. They're rechargeable, so I just keep plugging it into, my computer probably twice a week. It's a nice one. It has folders and stuff. I used it when I created the film. You don't have to have folders.
Okay, but in order to use it on the phone, though, you have to put the phone on speaker, correct?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I work with the speakerphone, right? Yeah. Yeah, and you're going to find a lot of people, again, I can feel some of you leaning towards Zoom, and that's, but, there's a lot of people you're just going to be on the phone with, too. I mean, I don't know if everybody in all your clients are going to be knowing about Zoom. I don't know why they can't. I don't know. I just have a strong feeling that I want to see you work on the phone. So that's basically how this was developed, and it's how I do it. And Zoom can be a backup plan for me. I mean, if for some reason your phone doesn't work, but.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? Does everybody's cell phone have a speaker? You didn't find it? Okay. Okay, so we're going to close the space and then I'll go get it for anybody who wants to see it. But it's a little Sony digital recorder. I got it at Best Buy years ago and it's never failed me. It's really good, really easy. And again, my file transfer company is Hightail, but there's a lot of good ones. And the reason I like Hightail, well, it's because I'm comfortable with it, but the files are good for 2 weeks. Some of the ones you get, they're only good for 2 days, some 1 week. You keep that in mind with your clients, because if they don't download it right away, they're going to ask you for it again, then you got to keep doing it. So with you guys, you've heard me say you have 2 weeks to download it. That's plenty of time. After that, I archive everything and back up my computer, and it goes to Deborah. And then if you lose it, then I send it to her, then she charges me $10. So I charge you $10 to do it again. That's fair. Yeah. Okay.
So just one more question, Lori, just with regard to Zoom, because you can actually use Zoom just as a telephone. You can use it without video, and people can call in. And what's nice about that is you can actually allow even the client to record as well on their end, so they would actually have an automatic, so you would still get a recording on Zoom without having to do the visual. So it's the same
So you're
basically
saying
as
that's
using
going
a
to be
phone.
your modality basically with your clients. That's
For
what,
me, it's preferential to, just because like my house is noisy and I'm afraid using a speakerphone is going to get all of that ambient noise with the, you know, the fire engines going by, which happens all the time. And so for me, I'm just conscious of a way of doing it without having a lot of that disturbance.
but no, still a phone for me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? All right. This has been awesome. Everybody give each other a hug. Come on. Yay, big hug. Turn it around so they can see you guys. Feel the love. Don't be strangers, though. Don't be strangers. Yeah, most of you will see each other in intern class, or you'll be around connecting through Facebook. Or okay, so let's go into the heart.
So one more question, if we begin to book the internship, people, we can start as of after what date?
October 12th.
October 12th. So we can start scheduling anytime after October 12th.
Mm-hmm. Actually on October 12th. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I just got an email. I saw it on my phone from a total stranger asking for a whale class who got my name.
So get your calendar out and tell them you're starting mid-October. Good job, Shirley. Okay. All right. We're really going to close now. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Mother, Father, God, we are grateful for these people, for this class, for Module 2, also Module 1. We love you so much. We feel the great power, the wisdom, and the healing of the dolphins and whales as we close the sacred space. Let's embrace them with our love and our gratitude. Our gratitude. Our gratitude. And thank you so much to the whales and Maria for giving me the new message. We just stay with each of these beautiful souls as they go forward, you know, walking in your path, representing each of you in the dolphin and whale communities of love. So we close the sacred space with reverence and honor and humility, gratitude again. Let's all say, we give thanks 3 times. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. And let's bless all beings now in all places, at all times, with this magnificent love that we've generated. Namaste. Bye, everybody. Oh, I'm going to get my recorder. Okay, but the rest of you can take off. Go find it.
Thank you. I will see you around, honey. Okay, I'll be there. Bye. See you later.
Here's my little recorder. Sony. It has this on the back. It slides into a USB port. It just goes right into the computer. Yeah. It also has a port where you can hook up a speaker at the top. So, you know, you could have recorded something and then hook up the speaker and everyone can hear it. So it's not so soft. Okay. That helpful?
Yes.
And here, I recommend Best Buy. That's where I go for that kind of stuff. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.